Okay, so this is the last derivation that I'll be doing an example of for this unit. So we're trying to show some xgx. We're trying to show that something is g, so we'll make an indirect assumption, and we will apply qn. So we have for all x, not gx. And we can stick in our premises. So it's ei ui time, and as we know by now, we ei first and then ui. So we'll ei line 4 to a new variable. I does not show up anywhere, so we'll ei to I. Now we need to ui both of our universal quantifiers. So we can ui line 3 to I. Now that doesn't do much for us. But there's that GA in line 6, so we could also do 3 UI to A. So here we're doing UI both to new variables and to names. So instantiating to what we get from variables we get from EI and instantiating to names. So we'll do 5 UI to I again and 5 UI to A, since we're not sure which ones we're going to use. So if we look at line 6, we noticed we could do MTP with line 8 because we have GA as a disjunct and not GA on a line. And now we can do, FI, well that works with line 9, so we'll do line 9, 11 MP, and then we have GI. And look, we have a contradiction between 7 and 12 ID, so we're done. Now what I want to note here is that in this case, with line 3, we UI it to I, and we UI it to A. And in this case, we use both of those, right? We use line not GA, which is line 8, to get line 11. And then we subsequently, for our indirect derivation, we use 12, but then also 7. So we use both 7 and 8. And 7 and 8 are UI from the same thing. So when you instantiate a universal quantifier, and you instantiate it to a bunch of stuff, just because you may use multiple instances of the universally quantified sentence, right? So in other words, you could have been in a situation like this. You say, okay, I know I'm supposed to UI a bunch of times, but that's just because I'm only going to use one of the things I get from UI. I just don't know which one. No, that's not right. Sometimes when you have a universal quantifier, you get multiple instances of it, UI to different things, and then you use all of those instances. As in this case, we got 7 and 8 are both instances of 3, and we used both of them. We used 8 for MTP, and we used 7 for ID. So you need to be sure you UI. If you don't UI your universal quantifier to all the different variables from EI and to any and all names, then there's a chance you will not be able to complete the derivation. You might be able to, but you might not, right? If you look at this, we did 5 UI to both I and to A, and we didn't use this line 10. So this was a superfluous UI. Line 10 was a superfluous UI, but you didn't know that. Lines 7 and 8 were not superfluous. So if you're going to be sure to have enough UI, you might end up with some superfluous UI, but you might not. So that's just the way that works. So this is the last derivation example for this session. So for this unit, we'll have office hours on Thursday night. If you have questions about any of this, please let me know in the interim. Good luck with your derivations and symbolizations.